Alright, so in our last video I left off right here with a lovely set of thesis formulas that I can work with. So I'm deciding that I'm going to work with option 1 right here, guys. So in Macbeth, Shakespeare uses characterization, metaphors, and irony to show that a man must not only be powerful, but also rational. So my next thing I want to work on is developing my introduction. And you guys have a nice graphic organizer like this guy here. I like to have the visual pieces of a graphic organizer to help me kind of chunk my information into different sections before writing a big paragraph. One thing I want you to really be aware of is the fact that your introduction is its own paragraph. Do not combine it with other paragraphs. You're going to end up with at least 5 paragraphs. First one will be your introduction. Your second one will be, well, your second, third, and fourth ones will be body paragraphs, and your last one will be a concluding paragraph. Okay? So you've got this handy-dandy graphic organizer just for your introductory paragraph. The first thing you want to do is down at the bottom here, jot down your thesis statement, alright? And it won't let me draw on that one, so I've just moved my information onto this one here. So, you see right here, I have my thesis statement way at the bottom of the triangle. So, in my question, or in my, the original question, the focus was on, like, masculinity and manhood, right? So I want to keep that in mind, what my original question was about, what my original topic was about. Because your introduction should do 2 things. It should let the reader know what your topic is, and it should get them interested in that topic, okay? So after you write down this thesis statement, you're going to jump way up to the top here. And up here, you're going to have, like this one says, a broad opening statement, okay? So this statement is the part that hopefully does get the reader interested. So for my broad opening statement, I'm going to talk about masculinity somehow. And I know that my argument is that in the play, masculinity has a lot of issues, right? It's not necessarily a completely positive thing, and it's really used to, like, dehumanize Macbeth too. So I want to keep this part of my introduction, again, really broad. You want to make it so that it's something like everyone can relate to. So I want to say something about masculinity right off the bat. So, and a lot of times, like, relating this to, like, other cultures or, like, our society, those are good ways to incorporate something a lot of people can relate to. So, I'm going to say, regardless of who you are or where you live, there are ideas and beliefs about what it means to be a man. In many cultures, I'm just gonna say for now, the ideas about masculinity have their flaws. These, so, like, these issues, I mean the flaws, these issues, I'm gonna say, these ideas can cause people, no, I don't like that, I wanna say, so the ideas about masculinity have their flaws. When people become too concerned with being man enough, written quite a few essays, so for me this is really a formula at this point, just as much as a thesis statement. So your broad opening statement might be a little less polished, and that's totally okay. That's expected. You'll get, you'll have time to kind of review and revise, but do the best you can. So I started off talking about like the world, regardless of who you are or where you live. And I'm talking about my really broad topic, which is what it means to be a man. Right? I didn't get specific yet. And I add a little bit more about like where I'm going with this. So masculinity has its flaws, right? Or our ideas of masculinity have flaws. And I kind of actually here already started narrowing down my topic, which is really my next step. So even if you just have like 1 or 2 sentences, that's all you need for this broad opening statement here. Like I said, where I start with when right here, that really doesn't, that can be part of narrowing down your topic. But it doesn't have to be. So now my job is to connect these two things. So somehow I have to get from talking about like the entire world to talking about Macbeth specifically. So I need to think about how I want to connect these, and this should only take a couple sentences. And although I said like this part here is really moving on to narrowing my topic, it's not narrow enough yet. It still requires a few sentences. So I'm just going to read it all over. Regardless of who you are or where you live, there are ideas and beliefs about what it means to be a man. In many cultures, the ideas about masculinity have their flaws. When people become too concerned with being a man enough, they can lose sight of their humanity. In Macbeth, Shakespeare uses characterization, metaphors, and irony to show that a man must not only be powerful, but also rational. Alright, that's not too bad. It's not too shabby. Just gonna use a color here. So here I'm gonna start talking about my connection here. So, I'm gonna say something about Shakespeare. That can be how I bridge the connection. So, Shakespeare was able to create characters that reflect this reflect key problems that come with being too focused on gender roles. And then I would even say, like, right here, I would, like, I want to add a linking word. So I'm going to say specifically. Let me see, I'm kind of, like, editing as I go. So specifically, in Macbeth, Shakespeare uses characterization, metaphors, and irony to show that a man must not only be powerful, but also rational. I feel like I don't connect to this, like, idea of rationality quite enough, or, like, this idea of power enough. Like, I'm not defining my masculinity enough here. So, Shakespeare was able to create characters that reflect the problems that come with being too focused on gender roles. He reminds us that although there are valuable aspects of manhood, remembering to take care of ourselves and others. Remembering to, I'm not going to say that, to focus on our own trying to put, like, think about this rational part I have written. Focus on to, oh, I know, to stay grounded is equally important. Alright, so now I've really fleshed out this introduction here. And all I would do after doing this is take these ideas that I've chunked, right, into these 3 sections and just and literally, you know, type up this first one up here, add this second one, and add this third one all into one coherent paragraph. And that's it. We're done with our first body paragraph that way.